and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your greatest support. Now, fellow Kenyans, if there is something that I've been very keen on is how William Ruto is strategizing himself ahead of 2027 general election. Because President William Ruto has been working so hard to consolidate control heading into 2027. While also projecting inclusivity across Kenyan political blocs. The way he's trying to divide himself, the way he's trying to make everybody come closer to him. I don't know, should we talk about bribing or should we talk about, I don't know, let us use the word tokenism, whereby he's trying to make sure that every section of the country, especially those blocks that he knows he can get a lot of problems, he gives them branches, gives them have this. And there's something that is really being faced with. William Ruto is being faced with the growing internal pressure. There is an internal pressure that is growing within the government that is really going to affect William Ruto, is affecting him, both within Kenya Kwanza, or being led by Rigathi Gachagua, and also from the opposition, whereby we have got people like Edwin Sifuna, Babu Owino, Caleb Amisi, Kibagendi, that group. That pressure. So he's really trying so hard on how we can try to circumnavigate, or maybe how we can try to neutralize this pressure that is coming from these two parties. The opposition, the Rigathi Gachagua's team, that is the united opposition, and also the main opposition, that is especially the people that are disagreeing with him, that are coming from Raila Odinga's camp. So that is what I want us to talk about, because right now he has brought Gideon Moi into the picture. And I want us to measure into the reasons why William Ruto decided to bring Gideon Moi, or the game that the symbol, what Gideon Moi is coming into the government symbolize. What does it symbolize? Or what is it going to do? Or how is it going to help William Ruto? Because one thing I believe and one thing I normally know is that anybody that is coming to William Ruto brings people close to him, people that he knows he is going to benefit, or people that he knows very well that can give him something that he wants, or that he can gain from them. So, fellow Kenyans, that is what I want us to talk about. But before we get into that discussion, let me just quickly remind you that if at all you're meeting for the first time, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can as well like, share, drop in the comment section, telling me what you think and where you are watching these videos from. And also, fellow Kenyans, the plan is out. The plan for the burial is out, and I'm being told that I try as much as I can to get something like 50 to stand for the mortuary bill, the casket, and the transport if we can. But I think it's somehow will be a bit difficult. So if I can get maybe the mortuary bill and the casket, that will be enough. Maybe the transport they can work on, or if I can get any. But my target, I'm just asking if I can get people can stand with me at least to get something like 50,000. 50,000 is enough, because wananiambia actually we are not tuko wengi, so that is why sometimes hiyo mambo inakuwa ngumu. I know this is something that sasa iko kwa family ndani, inabidi mtu ajikaze. So that is why I'm requesting you guys, if I can get people wenye wanaweza kasimama na mimi, mtu aniambie boni, I'll give you something, I'll give you 5,200, 1,000, 2,000, nitashukuru sana. Because hiyo kidogo tukikusanya mpaka hiyo 23rd, 24th itakuwa imefika hiyo around 30, 40, 50,000, na hapo I think hiyo itakuwa mzuri kabisa. So if you're willing and you saying that you'll stand with me, unaweza ukatuma via this number which is on your screen. Thank you very much for those who've already started. Nimeanza kuona SMS zenu. I can't read your names all, but for security purposes I can't just for the privacy purposes I can't read your name publicly. But if you've done that, you know yourself, and I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. God bless you. Asanteni sana. The burial itakuwa next week on 25th. That is itakuwa on a Saturday. Now, as we get into this discussion, there is something I want us to look at. And that is why I started by saying that William Ruto is consolidating control heading into 2027. And also we all have to understand that William Ruto is a very cunning person. After William Ruto akishagundua kwamba yani William Ruto ni ile, people normally say that he's a use and dump, is a use and dump guy. Anakutumia alafu anakuacha, especially kama shagundua ulianza akishagundua kwamba there is nothing that he can get from you, then boom, anachana na wewe. So I want us to look at something here. Naona I'm seeing William Ruto trying so hard to do away with the Kipchumba Murkomen. You know, Murkomen thought that akifanya kazi so hard akiwa interior atapewa nafasi. Nafasi gani nazungumzia? I'm talking about the issue of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. You know, the Prime Cabinet Secretary right now is Musalia Mudavadi. But now lazima uangalie deputy wake. Now this is now where Gideon Moi is coming in. Gideon Moi is coming in to work under Musalia Mudavadi as the deputy of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Of course, we know that this office is not there. Ni office ambayo haiko hapa. Haiko, everybody was against it, you know. Everybody was against what is the work of Musalia Mudavadi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, what is the purpose. But now, you know, William Ruto is working so hard, anajaribu kuangalia njia ambayo anaweza kafix nayo Gideon Moi to fit in his government. Hata ikiwezekana, utakuja unapata kwamba Gideon Moi atapewa nafasi hata kwa CS. To understand why Gideon Moi matters in William Ruto's government or William Ruto's political gain. Of course, we all know that Gideon Moi is the son of the former president, that is Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, and the leader of KANU. Though KANU party has been dormant, but Gideon Moi is the one that has been running the KANU party. He represents the Rift Valley elite lineage, particularly from Baringo, and still carries the Moi's name, which commands respect in parts of the Rift Valley and section of the old political establishment. RUTO, also from Rift Valley, has long been seen as political rival of Moi dynasty. Remember when William Ruto was talking about the dynasty, you know, who am I? Wakati ambapo alikuwa anauliza kwamba okay, watu wanauliza Raila Odinga tunamjua ni kijana Oginga Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta tunamjua ni kijana ya Jomo Kenyatta, Gideon Moi tunamjua ni kijana Arap Samoei, Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. Sasa who are you? So you see, it has been William Ruto, he created that narrative himself, that jinsi ambavyo watu wanamchukua, like how are these people seeing me? How are they ni kama I'm a son of a nobody, like I'm a nobody, they don't care about me, who am I? You see, so there has been that rivalry, but since I think it's since ilianza tu back then when the fallout started back in early 2000s. Are you seeing? So hiyo kumekuwa na hiyo mvuratano ya hapa na pale. So if Ruto were to elevate Gideon Moi to a senior government position like the Deputy Prime Cabinet Secretary, it will be more than a personal move. That is what I want us to understand. That if William Ruto will decide to elevate Gideon Moi as a position like the Prime Cabinet Secretary, it will be more than a personal move. Why? Because it will be symbolic reconciliation and a strategic for cooperation. First of all, nimekuambia kwamba these two families were never understanding each other since back in 2000s. So when William Ruto decides now to bring Gideon Moi into the picture, he's trying to reconcile with the Moi's family. You see, after reconciling with the Moi's family, because he knows very well that the only way that I can survive, the only way that I can capture back the power, the only way that I can stand in I can take the legacy of Moi is by reconciling with his family. And of course, Gideon Moi, you know, a lot of people don't understand Gideon Moi. So for William Ruto to take that advantage, he wants to take the advantage of Gideon Moi is not known, or Gideon Moi is not that vocal, because you know very well in this country you have to be vocal. Everybody must understand, must know you. Like lazima kuwe na kasauti. That is where now you can be heard. And anajua vizuri kwamba Gideon Moi ana hiyo sauti, ana hiyo ujasiri ya kukuwa na sauti ili watu wamuelewe. So that is why he wants to take that advantage. So by bringing Gideon Moi into the picture, I've told you that it's not that maybe there is something that he wants. It is not that he really wants to reconcile. He just wants to make ways on how he can use the Moi's family to elevate himself to more power and maybe to serve more than. Remember when he was saying that I've engaged with Gideon Moi, Raila Odinga, and Uhuru Kenyatta. Why was he engaging with the dynasty? Yet he has been calling himself the chief hustler. Why? We also have to look at the strategic reason why Ruto might do this. Number one is to neutralize old political dynasties. I think we've talked about the engagement, and by giving Gideon Moi a ceremonial ceremony by visit. Remember when a visit for all. Remember when he visited him, when he went to Kabarak to visit Gideon Moi. Ruto is looking for a way to neutralize KANU and the Moi network. That rather than leaving it in the opposition, he knows very well that this party, this KANU or this party, this KANU being led by Gideon Moi, it gonna have some power. So if I let it go to the opposition, it might be a challenge to me, especially with the people Baringo. So he wants to neutralize it. Number two, he's also looking for regional balancing in Rift Valley, whereby it signalizes that Ruto's Rift Valley dominance includes the Moi's family, not against them, calming inter-Kalenjin political competition, and also national unity optics. William Ruto is optimistic that is going to have national unity, whereby his presence is at bringing all leaders together for national progress, really amidst criticism that is divisive. I don't know how it's going to. I don't know how these three families are going to make it look like, are going to make sure that the national is united. I don't know. Raila, Uhuru Kenyatta, Gideon, and also him. I don't know, because you see, hapo wana represent only three communities: Kalenjin, Kikuyu, and Luo. Hakuna Kamba, hakuna Kisii, hakuna Waluya. Are you seeing? So, talking about national unity is very large. You can't take a sample. You can't just take three people and say that now you want to bring unity. And that is what has been going on. They are bringing in the broad-based government, and they want to unite Kenya. You can't unite Kenya by just taking a section of leaders. You have to involve everybody. And also the issue of the pre-2027 general election strategy. I think this is now where the problem is coming from. Na hii ndio kitu kubwa sana, whereby William Ruto is trying to do this, and by appointing Gideon Moi's help, is going to weaken any coalition building between Moi, Uhuru Kenyatta, and opposition figures like Kalonzo or Raila. International image. Of course, we have to accept that Moi's elite connections and moderate image might appeal to Western diplomats who still see him as a stabilizing legacy figure. Just like I've said before, that these three families, they still have people who represent them. Like kuna yule mtu ambaye bado akona legacy. Like look at Odinga's family. Kuna Raila Odinga. Look at Kenyatta's family, kuna Uhuru Kenyatta. Look at Moi's family, bado kuna Gideon Moi. So anajaribu kuangalia the international image, which has been spoiled. If you can be ranked the second most corrupt president in the world, how are you working so hard now to make the image look good? Akuna. We also have to look at now the challenge, because these things must have the challenges and the risks. Now, what are the challenges? The challenge number one. However, these will not be as simple risk or free appointment. We also have to know very well that being a deputy prime cabinet secretary, or that position currently held by Mudavadi, will imply seniority, and could create friction with Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who already feels sidelined by Ruto's power distribution. I think that one now, the former, we call him the former deputy president. And he was also a Noi Kenya Kwanza loyalist who fought against Moi political dynasty for years. The public optics, which could backfire. Ruto will build his brand as the hustler president, looking like he's reviving the old dynasty system he once attacked. We talked about that. But if it were to happen, how it might be fraud or might be framed. Suppose this thing, suppose it works, or maybe suppose it succeeds to make Gideon Moi the deputy prime cabinet secretary. How would it have been framed? If Ruto ever does it, expect the official narrative or to sound like this. This appointment is part of the president's inclusive approach to national leadership, bringing together experience, legacy, and a spirit of unity across political divides. That is just a way that maybe anaweza kaiweka. Behind the scene, it will really be about containing rivals and locking down Rift Valley votes. I think I once talked about the issue of voting as a bloc, whereby we are trying to unite ourselves. We are trying to unite. It is not normally about unity. It's about individualism. When these politicians talk about unity, let us unite ourselves and vote together and maybe do 1, 2, 3 things together. It's not normally about unity, like as per se. It's normally about individualism. Like, this is what you want to do. This is what we are doing. Like, if we do this, this narrative of let us unite ourselves to vote together. The moment you vote, you vote as a block. You're voting for one person. That person will go there and then forget about you. Like, tell me, how many projects have been there in Rift Valley since William Ruto became the president? Very few. So it's not normally about voting for the person who is going to take care of, maybe who is going to kuwatetea kule mbele. No, it's not normally that. That thing is normally different. Hiyo kitu is tofauti sana. So the way we look at it is very different from the way maybe the politicians are looking at it. So it is a bit complicated. And also the issue of political reality checks. Let us just look at the reality. And at this stage, there's no legal or structural vacancy for a deputy prime cabinet secretary. The role is informal and not constitutional, because even the prime cabinet secretary position is normally unconstitutional. So wakati ambapo William Ruto anajaribu kusukuma kisiri ili ajaribu atafutie Gideon Moi nafasi. And of course that is the only place, because I was trying to look at what is the place that Gideon Moi can be fixed. Because what William Ruto wants to do, ushasikia ile mambo na fixing the match fixing. So this one now is position fixing. Ruto will have to expand or redefine Mudavadi's office, or create a special advisory or coordination portfolio just to slot Gideon Moi in. Hapo inabidi atapewa deputies. Hapo itabidi gari yake atapewa 2 motorcades, na gari yake pia itakuwa na flag ya Kenya. And hakuna kitu inabamba mtu kama gari yake ameweka hiyo bendera ya Kenya as a cabinet secretary. Huwa inambamba sana. You're walking all over the country with the flag of the country of the nation on your motorcade. Inakuwa kitu mzuri sana. So if it happens, it will be like symbolic. A political alliance dresses as an appointment. That is, that is the only thing. That is the only way that William Ruto can survive. He wants to make it look like an appointment, but it's just a political alliance. You see? But then, truth of the matter is that this thing is not that much easy. It is not like let us just wake up in the morning and do it. Sio kitu ambacho mtu ataamka asubuhi, sio kitu ambacho Ruto ataamka asubuhi na aseme kwamba now let us decide now to make this thing work. No. Because I've realized that decisions every decision that William Ruto makes, he makes decisions based on maybe what he wants. So mtu kama angalia saizi mtu kama Kipchumba Murkomen, jinsi ambavyo amekuwa kitembea akidhania kwamba pengine atapewa nafasi mzuri, alafu aende akwe sidelined. What would happen? These things are the things that are causing chaos every day, every now and then. Chaos hapa na pale, makosa, kila wakati kuna mambo ambayo yanafanyika, and we can't talk about them. If you talk about them, wewe ni mtu mbaya. If you talk about them, or you are against the government. But truth of the matter is that we have to talk about these things, because if we don't talk about them, then Kenya inaenda kuharibika. If you don't talk about them, if you don't put them on the limelight, then a lot of issues are going to rise and a lot of people are going to be affected. After all, guys, that is just my thought, and that is all I have for now. Let me know what you think at the comment section below. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button. Don't forget to tell me what you think and where exactly you are watching this video from. Until we meet again in the next video, if it's possible, I have been your host, Bonfazarian. Bingo.